Hi, I'm Steven, and this is the new HuDong Light 3x3 from FanXin. You might have panicked when you heard that name because their last 3x3 wasn't exactly great, but I think this one will surprise you. This is the first cube from a new designer, and we're really excited about it. The designer definitely knows what he's doing, and all of our interactions with him have also been very positive. So we have high hopes for this product and future releases. We're checking out all three versions today, starting with the standard, which is the simplest and lowest cost version. Got my skizzers. Alright, so the first thing I notice is the cube in this plastic case, and there's also an accessory box on the side. This box contains a screwdriver and, more importantly, a blank center cap, which is awesome for blind solvers, as well as a very nice red bag with the HuDong logo. The cube box itself is just magnetic, and the cube is wrapped in plastic as well. So all three versions of this cube have piece-to-piece magnets, as well as corner core magnets and corner foot to edge foot magnets. The only differences are the texture and the adjustment system. This is the standard version, so it has matte plastic and springs. It's very loose out of the box, so assuming the final version is on similar tensions to this, I definitely recommend tightening it. Out of the box, this cube is very controllable and it's a little bit sandy. Stability seems fine despite the loose tensions, although I would still tighten it and increase compression. The general shape of the pieces is pretty similar to the Tornado V3 and V4, but the cube still feels very different. We have magnets in the corner feet, and these blue parts that you can see through the side of the edges hold attracting magnets here, which is under the repelling torpedo magnets. So these attract to each other to give it another set of small radius magnets, which helps stability. You also get a clear 8-magnet ball shell on top of a red core, which looks pretty nice. The standard version of this cube has a blue adjustment system, which is just a screw and 8 compression settings. It's really simple, but it's effective, and compression is hand adjustable. This is a very simple system, but it's effective and the hand adjustable compression is really nice. So I'm just going to do a quick solve on the standard before opening the next one. Alright, 10-12, that is pretty good for me. Next, I'm going to talk about the flagship version. All three versions have the same accessories, so I'm not going to go over this again, but let's check out the cube. The HuDong Light flagship is mechanically identical to the standard, but this one has a UV coating. And I don't know if it's just me, but this coating seems even shinier than most other manufacturers. Once again, the tensions are very loose, and it's controllable and scratchy out of the box. This has the same magnets, but this time the edges have green trays to hold the feet magnets, and we have a green adjustment system. I don't have any information about pricing for this version or the Ultra, but because they have more features, they'll be a bit more than the standard. By the time you're watching this, it should be available for pre-order at TheCubicle.com, so be sure to check it out there. Finally, I have the Ultra version. You can tell this is the version they're most excited about because it has red internals to match the logo. This is the same as the flagship version, except it adds maglev. So this one should be a bit faster. Once again, tensions are pretty loose and it feels scratchy, but I can definitely tell that this one has a bit less friction. Right now, I actually prefer the Ultra before it's lubed, but once they all have lube to speed them up a bit, I think I will still prefer the spring versions. Something else to note is the weight differences. The standard version is 79 grams, the flagship is 80, and the Ultra is quite a bit heavier at 85 because of the maglev. So now I'm going to do a quick solve on the Ultra version, and then I'll bring out my setup standard that I've been using for about a month, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite cubes. Okay, so even though I really like the feel of the Ultra out of the box, I clearly can't control it as well as I can the other versions, so that is one reason that I am sticking with the standard myself. This is my standard HuDong that I've been using for about a month. As you can see, it's very glossy. The matte finish on this cube wears down pretty quickly, which is nice, and I like broken in matte plastic better than UV. So this is my go-to version. So let's do a couple solves on this one before we wrap up. I've already competed with this cube and it seemed to perform pretty well, and I'm excited to keep using it in the future. The only issue I've had with it is that it seems to go through lube pretty quickly, so you might want to make sure you have lube on hand to maintain it. This really surprised me, but I found that Moyu Lube V1 works really well in this cube. Something else I've noticed is that it feels kind of like a more forgiving GaNCube. What I mean by that is that it rewards light turning, but it doesn't punish inaccurate turning quite as much as GaNCubes do. That being said, most of my lockups come from turning too roughly, and when I'm conscious of that and turn lightly, I do really well on this cube.
Hey everyone, this is Phil. Really quick opinion on this cube. I think this cube is really special. It's very different from other cubes. It has this very cool sort of look to it. I can immediately tell, oh, this is a HuDong cube when I see it from the outside. And solving on it is also pretty fun. The cube is springier than expected, and so that feeling of turning a cube that has a lot of, I guess, spring in the turn is definitely unique. I can't name another cube that really behaves like this. My interactions with this designer have also been really positive. I think the biggest thing is that he's really down to earth and has no ego, and I think that really helps for a first-time designer of like a major product. He really accepts feedback that you give to him, which is, I think, really important. So really happy that this product is releasing, and definitely check it out at TheCubicle.com. It's a pretty good one.